and I expect him to come out with his killer instincts. Though Ndauendapo can be durable sometimes, I still expect a round 6 knockout by. Hello HTV boxing fans. Despite no major shows going on this weekend, it is still fight week. Fast rising Ghanaian boxer Alfred Lamptey will be going head to head with Namibia's Ndauendapo in an 8-round super featherweight contest this Friday at the Mlimani City in Tanzania. Gates open at approximately 7 p.m. Tanzanian time and will be shown on Azam TV, that's a local station. The event is promoted by Mo Boxing. In this short video, I will discuss the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters, my thoughts on this fight in general, the strategies I expect both fighters to be coming with through the night, and of course, my prediction. This is Talking Boxing. Before I go on, please don't forget to leave your prediction below in the comment section. Like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if this is your first time. And please share it with other people so that they can also subscribe. I will really appreciate it. So let's talk briefly about Alfred the Bukom Bomber Lamptey. Lamptey is one of the fast rising boxers coming from the West African sub-region of Ghana, the country, with a total of 10 professional bouts and 14 professional rounds. He has faced many boxers who are by far more experienced than him, but somehow the Bukom Bomber, as he is casually called or known, has managed to find his way around all these opponents. Alfred has a record of 13 wins, with 8 of the wins by way of knockout. That is an impressive 80% knockout rate. Let's talk a little bit about his history. Lamptey clinched his first title belt March of last year when he knocked out George Cramper to win the UBO African and West African Boxing Union featherweight titles in round 4. He followed it with another double title in September of the same year when he won the WBO Youth and WBC Youth Silver Super Featherweight titles, where he beat Idi Kayumba of Tanzania. Lamptey did not rest on his laurels that year, and he finally clinched the national super featherweight title in December of last year as well. And that was number 5 along his winning streak. What are his strengths coming in? One of the good skills that I have noticed about Alfred is that and that is what actually has kept him going and has kept him having a clean sheet, is his defense. He has a good defensive skills, and oftentimes is able to evade opponents because of this. Lamptey is also ambidextrous. What do I mean by this? He can switch between southpaw and orthodox without telegraphing it to his opponents. This often confuses opponents, and he catches them unaware, and that goes to his advantage. Finally, the Bukom Bomber is a good counter puncher. He can take shots himself, but he often returns with his own, which normally overpowers that of his opponent or the ones that he's receiving. What are his weaknesses? I wouldn't say this is a weakness, but my bigger concern for Lamptey coming into this fight is his inactivity. Alfred has not fought since December of last year when he clinched the national title. He has been out of the ring for about 9 months now. There were reports of him fighting in August, but that did not seem to materialize. I must admit, though, that this year, some fighters, which I had similar ring rash concerns, have proven me wrong. So hopefully Lamptey does the same too. Now let's talk about Abraham the Energy Ndauendapo. Ndauendapo is coming in with a total of 26 bouts and 165 rounds in his professional career. The Namibian has a record of 17 wins, 8 losses, with only 5 of his wins coming by way of knockouts. Compared to Lamptey, is really on the low side. How did he get here? Ndauendapo claimed his first Namibian Super National Featherweight title belt way back in 2009, but he successfully defended it. In 2013, he won the vacant IBF Continental Africa Super Featherweight titles by beating Namumbo in round 1. He defended it twice after that, in 2014 and in 2015 respectively. Since his last defense, he has had a mixture of losses and wins, but mostly losses. Whether his strengths coming in, Abraham got some good jabs. I saw a few of his recent fights, and he almost always had his left jab up. In his fight with Jordan McMurray, this was very visible and evident, and I think that is what actually carried him through all the 10 rounds, despite losing on points. And Ndauendapo is aggressive and explosive. Most of his fights that I saw, he remained on the offensive throughout, and often through strong, powerful combinations. Lastly, the third strength Abraham possesses is his movement. He has some great head movements. This proved to be a challenge for many of his opponents, who usually abandoned head hunting him and went for his body. But I must say that they also struggled there too, because he was always on the move. What are his weaknesses? Ndauendapo lacks composure. By this, I mean he's very unorthodox in how he lets his hands go. He throws wild punches, he attacks wildly, and oftentimes leaves his face wide open. This can spell doom for him with someone like Lamptey, who has an 80% knockout rate. Now, my thoughts on this fight. This is going to be a very interesting fight for several reasons. On paper, Lamptey is more technically astute and superior and has a better record. He should win this, right? However, he is traveling and lacks the home base, which can sometimes influence the judges and the cards. Although this is, however, not always the case. Devin Haney proved it in Australia against composers. As a knockout artist, though, I expect Lamptey to come out looking for his next knockout. He is going to bring power while protecting himself. But as stated earlier, it will be hard to headhunt Ndauendapo. So he should target and try to tear down the body of Abraham. And Ndauendapo, on the other hand, will try to stay aggressive as he has always been. However, he's probably going to throw a lot of wild punches in hopes that some of them land. This can be terrible for him. Why do I say this? The least mistake that he makes, it can bring him doom, because Lamptey is probably going to floor him. Now to my predictions on this bout. I think Lamptey has a better technical IQ compared to Ndauendapo, and I expect him to come out with his killer instincts and continue his high percentage knockout rate. Though Ndauendapo can be durable sometimes, I still expect a round 6 knockout by Lamptey, if not earlier. This is my prediction, and this is Talking Box.